Hey, it's Merrill. This is video 4 in this series. I recommend before you watch this one, check out videos 1, 2, and 3, and you can just click on any of the pictures to get to those videos. Let's do a quick review. We'll work from the entire head to the individual features. Overall, the shape of the head from the side is egg-shaped. It's a similar distance between the face and the back of the head and the chin and the top of the head. The middle of the nose is the halfway point of the head. There's an equilateral triangle between the pupil, the chin, and the back top of the ear. Similar distances between the mouth and chin, and the chin and throat, and similar distances between the mouth and the hairline, and the chin and the back of the neck. Finally, the ear is more than half the distance from the face to the back of the head, generally 55 to 70% back. And now I'm going to do my demonstration. I'm going to do it a little bit different than the one at the end of part 3 though. I just made the oval shape horizontally, and I put a line almost straight through the bottom, maybe about 1/8 of the way up. Then I did the outline of the face. The nose protrudes more than anything else. We learned from a few slides it's actually closer than you think. I found that to be more true with males than females, and I'm drawing a female in this picture. So I put the lips a little bit further back, and I'm taking my measurements now. I'm making sure, number one, now that I fully finished the head shape, wanted to make sure that it's oval, checking my distances, midpoint of the mouth to the bottom of the chin to the throat. You're going to see me check in a little bit that triangle. I think that's a pretty big measurement. I just did the line that it kind of shows that the cheekbones come out a little bit more. And if you remember, we mentioned in video 3 that it does not line up, between the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. There are 3 different points, and usually the nose is the furthest out, or the curl of the nose is further out than the corners of the mouth or the pupil and iris. I just put in the triangle, and I made sure that my proportions were correct on that. Chin to back of the neck and mouth to hairline. That seems to be working. So my drawing is on track. Remember, you don't need to have a checklist per se. Remember a few of these, whichever ones seem to make the most sense to you. It becomes very mechanical if you remember every single one, and you try to fit every single one in. If anything that you should have learned from this series, it's the variance of the faces. How many different nuances that there are from face to face, and really that calls upon observation more than anything else. But this is more done from my head, and I'm teaching you to draw from your head, so you have to use those measurements in this case. That's the blending tool that I use, blending Stump. Those of you who have seen my videos, you're pretty familiar with it. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, it's just paper shaped as a pencil. It's a fancy little tool. Very simple. Again, all it is paper. There's no graphite on the inside, and it moves the graphite around on the page. And it's in a point, and you can really you see I did it on the edges of the face. And if you make a line, it looks very, very mechanical. I like to smudge the edges, especially where the outline of the face is. The green pencil is a 6B. and the yellow pencil is an HB pencil, or a regular number 2. And now that I have my proportions correct, this is where the fun begins. This is where you really start to bring the person that you're drawing to life. And for the record with that, I have a few different photo references. I always use photo references when I shade. I could get the basic shapes from my head, but I always lose the realistic likeness to it if I don't look at photo references. I usually take a few and I make sure that the lighting is similar, that their pose is similar, and the lighting is similar. And the internet has been great for that. You could just you go to Google image search, and you could find a bunch of similar images for that. Print them out and put them by your drawing, and it'll really help you shade. It's very tough to shade from your head. I'm trying to teach a few different methods on my channel right now, and this is one. Most of you are probably familiar with the step-by-steps, and those step-by-steps will help you get good at observation. And I model the process for you. I show you what how I would break an image down into shapes. But if you combine the two, you probably will get even more out of these videos, because really it's always a combination of the two. It's observation, but you also have to have a solid knowledge of facial proportion. I think the one thing that I'm leaving out is anatomy, but I promise I'll eventually get to that. It's kind of tough to find a fun way to teach anatomy, though, but I will try to do that. I hope that the information that I give you, I hope that you are not expecting to remember every single thing when you draw. I think that would be detrimental. I think memorize a few. Use the ones that you know that you could remember. If you feel that your drawing is lacking, then you go back and you get some more and you build on that. But don't be like gung-ho about memorizing every single one, or else you will never draw. Trust me. Just memorize the ones that you feel that you can, and go for it. And then let the drawing take its course. Alright, so now let me talk about the shading a little bit. You're going to notice I'm using a brush. I'm using the blending stump that I was telling you about before. I'm also using my fingers. You don't want to use your fingers until the later parts of the drawing, because if you try to do shading over the areas that you use your fingers, you'll notice that the graphite doesn't go on the same way, and that's because of the oil that's in your fingers. It also eats away at the page over time, but I'm not expecting my stuff to go in any museum or anything like that, so I can live with that. And it's a good blending tool, your fingers, that is. So I will use that, but I'll stress to you at the end of drawings rather than at the beginning of drawings. You want to avoid it at the beginning. And actually use a slip sheet if you're somebody like me who likes to rest his hand on the drawing. Some people have outstanding pencil control and hand control. Me, no. I'm a bit heavy-handed. I'm good with the shading, but the line quality, it takes me time to perfect that, to build that up in each drawing, and I actually have to do a lot of erasing. Alright, so that was the shading. I'm just using 2 pencils. One more quick point on the shading. 6B pencil and HB, like I said before, starting out mostly with the HB pencil, but once I know where those darker tones are going to go, I just jump right in with the 6B pencil. I used to slowly build it up, but I'm getting a little bit more adventurous now. You'll even hear me say in my earlier videos that I would take my time and build it up, but some I just go, lately I've been just jumping in. Maybe I'm getting impatient as I'm getting older. I don't know. finishing touches on now, just with the hair. Making sure that the back of the neck is somewhat dark, because there's a lot of hair below the ponytail. Anyway, these are the other videos. Part 5, click on that one to see the 3/4 view, and the other 2, human proportion and differences between the male and female skull. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.